Hello there, and welcome to my new video for Siralim Ultimate. I'm Icon, and in this one, I'm going to talk about 10 different things that you can and will do in the late game. As usual, I have put timestamps into the description box, so if you're looking for a specific topic, that's where you'll find it. And also, of course, every single topic will find some explanations, and I'm going to talk about the rewards of these things as well. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get started with the first topic, and that's killing Nether Bosses. I want to start with Nether Bosses because they are an integral part of the late game, and you won't have any option to skip them. So Nether Bosses, once you've beaten the main story, every 5 levels of realm depth and henceforth, you will have to fight a Nether Boss to get one level deeper. These dudes are very specific bosses, and let's check out the codex here in the game information. You can check them out, and they all have very specific traits that influence the battle massively. And as you can see here, there's 3 tiers, and there's a total of 35 Nether Bosses. So the first 35 bosses, tier 1, then the next one, tier 2, then the next 35, tier 3, and so on. After that, you will always face another Nether Boss every 5 levels deep that you go deeper. The rewards for that are pretty cool. First off, there's pretty much loot in general from these, especially when you go on a high realm instability. That's a really high amount of loot. But not only that, once you've beaten the first Nether Boss, you can unlock this Nethermancer here, and he will sell you trade materials for every clear that you've made on a specific tier. And these are very unique trade materials that have extremely interesting effects that are not to be found anywhere else. Also, they're very costly in terms of brimstone. And on top of that, you will also get keys for the Gate of Gods from the Nether Bosses. So if you can, kill them always on the highest instability level that's possible for you, because that maximizes your rewards. But beyond that, Nether Bosses are not something that you want to do, they are something that you will do, and you can't avoid it. So with that out of the way, let's get into the next topic, and that's false gods and the guilds. This is a really cool system, which you will unlock once you're deep enough into the game. I think it was realm depth 400 or something, and then you will unlock these guilds of Rhodia. So these dudes here will give you a bounty for a false god, and when you have taken that, you will get this message here. So my next bounty is for the false god Hydronox on the realm depth of 477. Kill that dude, and you will gain access to new items in the guild's respective shop, and you will also gain access to different traits from different classes. So let's get this going here. Here, game information, and false gods go here. So here you can see every single of these gods, it consists of a battle with 6 parts. So the false god will also be the final test of that level, and every part of it has a different impact. Also, every false god is linked to a couple of specializations, and when you beat the false god, you will gain level ups in the respective guild. You will gain a anointment from that god, I'll explain that in a minute, and also all manner of other goodies. The anointments that you get from this one are found here in the character, and this is a really cool system. It allows you to pick traits from other character classes and equip them on your currently played character class. You can equip a total of 5 anointments on your character per se. Only the royal class can get more, and that's what you're doing later down the road. The guilds are really cool, and they yield other bonuses. As you see here, there's ranks for these, and the higher the rank, you get some bonuses here. False god hunting is one of the coolest things in the late game, and it's really a lot of fun. I can only say this is one of my favorite things in the late game. So the guilds of Rhodia, let's see, do I get some readout here when you unlock them? Because I totally forgot when to unlock them. But I think it was around depth, around 400 or 435, something around that. Alright, so that will bring you the option to massively enhance your gameplay by getting these anointments on. And on top of that, these shops sell really interesting things. Some of them can't be found anywhere else. Spells that you haven't seen yet, decorations, creatures. It's really a massively cool system and also forces you to descend because the gods that you will face will always be located on a certain realm depth. So that's all I wanted to say about False Gods and the Guilds. It's really an awesome system and I love it. The next thing we're going to cover are cards and collecting of them. Cards are a rare item that can be dropped by every monster. There's one card linked to every monster in the game, and as you see here, I have a card album. 92 of 1055 creatures I have already collected. The real cool part here is that, as you can see, they come as a set. And once you have enough of these collected, you'll unlock these bonuses permanently. Always. You can, of course, also disable them if you want to not have these effects for whatever reason that might be. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You kill monsters, there's a very, very low chance of finding a card from these monsters. So you'll have a lot of things to do. Also, on top of that, you not only get those set bonuses that are here linked to these creatures, you also get bonuses for every card. As you can see here, every card is worth 0.1% in these respective stats. So you also boost up the stats of your creatures a lot but with that. And these set bonuses, they are really, really massive. Like, some of them are really even game-changing. So it's really worth collecting that, and it's a very massive late game goal that you can and will follow for a pretty long time. As a little tip, the divination candle that you will find in the realms below allows you to summon a specific monster which you have a high enough knowledge from. This is a really good mechanism to hunt cards because it allows you to summon a specific monster, and the more often a monster is in one team, the higher the chance to get that respective card. So, for me, that's the ideal way of card hunting. Alright, let's get to the next topic, and that's the arena. So, I can't really remember anymore where I unlocked the arena. I did unlock it while I was progressing, that's one thing for sure. You set it up here, and the arena gives you a draft mode, where you will have to draft a team of 6 creatures for 5,000 crystal, and then you will fight as long as you can. You will gain ranks according to your success, and then you will unlock the infinite arena. The standard arena has certain couple of rounds until you win. It's five fights for the standard arena. Infinite arena is pretty clear. Wild arena, I haven't played that one yet. Masters arena, you even get a creature. You get to play a creature master, and yeah, you also get a explanation there. Okay, here wild mode, chosen a random. Okay, so it's really just a massively randomization fest. Yeah, also, like with all things here, that shop offers exclusive rewards that I personally haven't unlocked yet because I suck at drafting. So that's an entirely new thing to do if you're tired of descending into the dungeon. And I haven't even figured out yet how deep it goes and what the rewards are there. But you get the idea. The next thing to do and to talk about is Piety. So Piety is a resource that you will unlock, and with that, you will also unlock the relics. So relics are items that are linked to a certain god. You can unlock a relic for a certain amount of piety. As you see here, I have 600k of piety. These artifacts can be, or relics, sorry, can be equipped to specific creatures, and as you see here, they all have a massive amount of special feats that they'll gain when they are ranked up accordingly. They also give your creatures a intelligence bonus, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of things to unlock, and there's a lot of weapons that you can use. They all come with a own set of unique conditions, and every single one of them is linked to a certain god in the game. So this is something that you can work on pretty long. To gain piety, you will have to fulfill these prophecy cards. This comes as a regular set of quests different things. Find Pandemonium Shrines, kill death creatures, do hunt missions, and so on and so forth. The more of these you finish, the better the Piety reward will go, and you will also receive a bonus for every line that you cross out. Diagonal, I don't know if diagonals count as well, but it's definitely horizontal and vertical. So that's one method to gain Piety. Another method is to fulfill the quests of the Goblet of Trials, where you have to do realm quests with a specific specialization. So that's another way of gaining Piety. I think there are some more, but these are your main ways of gaining Piety. One thing worth mentioning here, the more achievements you have, the more Piety your character will gain. So achievements, that's the main benefit of achievements in this game. And collecting Piety, upgrading your relics, and getting that done is one thing that you can do. And there's another thing that you can invest your Piety into, and that's upgrading the general stats of your relics with Piety as well. That's what you use that currency for, and grinding that isn't something you will do as a main thing, but it's something that will happen on the side all the time. So it's worth mentioning that as a late game thing. All right, let's go to the next topic, and that's collectibles and decoration. Well, this is a little bit iffy because, you know, it's also nothing that you can do specifically, but I wanted to mention it. This game offers you a vast amount of skins for your creatures, where you can equip your creatures with new skins. These just randomly drop. They're super rare drops that are really, well, you can be lucky if you get across these whenever you do. The other thing you will loot a lot in the dungeons are wardrobe costumes. So there's a metrical crap ton of costumes that you can unlock. Also, if you do enough realm quests with your character classes, they gain new costumes as well. Yeah, there's a lot of costumes to be unlocked for sure. The other thing that's worth talking about is here in the decoration mode, there's also decorations that you can loot, and there's a insane amount of decorations that you can unlock in this game. You either find them or buy them from different vendors. There's really an insane amount of things that you can do in this game, and the castle itself also is really big. There's really a lot of room where you can slap down decorations. Here, I started a plushie room one day. It's just an example. You got tons of different rooms to work with, and alone the visual collectibles in this game are one thing to do in the late game, and decorating your castle. I wanted to mention that because, you know, it's something you can do, and it's very deep, and there's a lot of stuff to be done there. Okay, let's get to the next topic, and that's achievements. I already scratched that a bit, but achievements, well, that's truly the long-term goal, a true long-term goal to go for. As you can see here, this game has a metrical ton of achievements, so collect backgrounds for your castle, floors for your castle, complete construction projects, complete missions, obtain stuff, kill creatures, obtain knowledge. There's so effing many things that you can do in this game. And as I've mentioned already, achievements give you a piety bonus, so it's definitely worth hunting them. And yeah, there's even a achievement for how many % of the achievements you have gained already. Hunting achievements is a thing in this game, and it'll get you far, and it will make your piety leveling a lot easier. But that's pretty much it. There's not much more to say. How to gain the achievements is pretty self-explanatory. Let's get to the next topic instead. That's Ascension / the Gate of Gods. That's another wonderful thing you unlock. I think it was around depth 300. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm not really specific with when to unlock these things. But there's only one thing to be said. Just proceed into the round depth, and you will always unlock the features that I've mentioned here. Okay, Gate of the Gods. How does it work? You need a Gate of the Gods key gathered by Nether Bosses, or you can also do a project here to forge Gate of the God keys. Here, Key Forge. I have that on a permanent thing. So how does this work? The Gate of the Gods gives you the opportunity to fight against the gods that you worship in that game. They come in a difficulty level from 1 to 10. After you've beaten the god on 10, you unlock a difficulty level 11, and so on and so forth. But the rewards are capped on level 10, so there's no particular reward for beating a boss on a higher level. It's just for the pain. And it's quite simple. You will have to fight a god on level 10 to you see the gods on level 1500 and your critters are on level 100. This is really brutal, so you will start at a disadvantage, and the traits of these gods are truly unique. They are even worse than the ones of the Nether gods. So for example, Aneltha, one of my favorites, wait a second, move the camera away so you can see it better. At the start of this creature's turn, it kills the enemy's leftmost living creature. Enemies can't be resurrected. So if your build ain't fast enough, Aneltha will just eat you in 6 turns. And you can't do anything about that. And all of these gods work similar. Lister here, for example, he's immune to damage and you just have to sit it out. And there's a lot of different conditions linked to these. What's the reward behind that, you might ask yourself? First of all, you gain emblems of that god, which is good because you can use them in the god shop. Also, if you have killed enough of them or killed them once at level 10, you get to summon their avatars as creatures in your own combo, which is massively cool because they have really cool traits by themselves. But the most fascinating part here is that whenever you've beaten a god on level 10, you'll get a little bit of a star icon here. I'll show you how it looks like. Let's go into a specialization that I'm trying to ascend. Here, the Necromancer. So this looks like that. Star behind that, and once you have killed all of them on level 10 once, you ascend with that character class, and you unlock a very special perk for that character class, unique to Ascension. So this is a real late game goal, and it's pretty hard because, you know, some of these gods will be no problem whatsoever for your combo, but some of them will force you to adjust your strategy fundamentally, and yeah, lots of fun. As you see here, I have 51 keys, and you have to allocate keys, and yeah, there's a lot of things to do. And one thing worth mentioning, this is really one of the hardest parts in the game. You can also, wait a sec, upgrade these dudes. To show you that, let's go into another specialization that has one equipped. There we go. Hell Knight has one of them, and you can also empower them. So as you see here, there's upgrades and costs, and seriously, these avatars can be upgraded to massive proportions with that. But yeah, there's a lot of grind involved with that as well. Alright, so enough of that Ascension topic. Let's get into the next one, and that's God Favor. So the gods in the game, as you might already know, they give you a lot of, they have this favor system. So, wait a sec, where was it again? Here in the character sheet. Yeah, so here you have this big sheet of favor between the gods. As you see here, it says ranks, and the higher the rank, the higher the favor of these gods. Check here, blessings of the gods. For every rank of favor, you will gain a unique blessing from these gods, and the higher the rank, the more of these blessings. And at rank 50, you can also buy Godforge keys at the vendor. So this is also something that you can spend a lot of time grinding that out. It's not really as deep as other parts of the game, but the rewards for that are really good. The higher the rank, the more rewards you also gain in that specific realm of that god, and therefore it's a really cool thing to aim towards too. Alright, so let's get into the next topic, and that's Masters. So later down the road, as soon as you hit Nether Bosses, every time you enter a new depth of the dungeon, you will face a creature master. Here, these every time you kill one of them, you will gain a level of mastery regarding to the race that this master is belonging to. And as you see here, we gain not only bonuses for fighting with or against that race, you also gain a master X to a mastery trait that's always linked to that specific race in particular. These mastery traits have to be equipped on 2 artifacts into the trait slot, and they look like this. So sadly, why aren't they shown here? Give me a sec. Need to see the forge. Obviously, I can't look at them here. So they go into the trait slot of your artifacts. Now here's a open trait slot. And here you go, masters of whatevers. So these are always linked to the specific race. Your Asura's effects, your automaton's effects, and so on and so forth. The masters, you can't really hunt for them specifically. It's always random what kind of master you will meet on that floor. But stacking them up is really, really beneficial. You gain bonuses when fighting with or against that race. I already mentioned that, but I want to emphasize how powerful that is. In the case of the Asura, for example, I already have 8% damage dealt to them and 8% damage reduction. Once you have passed level 10, these bonuses really grow massive. It's a pretty good thing. And that was number 10, but we're not quite done here, so I'm going to talk about what's beyond that, because, you know, Siralim Ultimate honestly has more than 10 things to offer. Right now, I want to talk about a couple of things that are longer in the game, and a couple of new things as well. So for one, there are these notoriety items. They are based around booze, and they are based around little mini games that these riddle dwarves have for you. They ask you questions about the game in the dungeons, and you get tickets to play little mini games. So Siralopoli, Kano. So let's show you what this looks like. You know, selecting a couple of creatures. It's a kind of lottery game, and then check out how many of them get drawn, and you gain notoriety. Every single of these games gives you notoriety. And notoriety is not only unlocking all manner of different things, it's also the source of the so-called elementals. And they're all about booze, and that's fun. It's also some sort of late game thing, but it's not really that deep. And it's based around little mini games. Another thing that you can go for and hunt for are nether stones. So nether stones are really something special, and they drop as the most rare material in game, and every artifact has one nether slot, and as you can see here, this is one more impressive one. They are not limited in any way. They can have all manner of different things, traits, stats, spells, whatever. And netherstone, collecting powerful nether stones surely is one of those things that you will spend a lot of time in the late game, and as deeper you go, the higher the rarity goes. So it's really, really worth it hunting these. And last but not least, I also want to talk about exotics. Exotic creatures are a new kind of breed that has been introduced with a full release, and you will find them in rainbow portals, and you kill them once, and then you get to summon them. Exotics are creatures that have been introduced into the game by backers, like people that have kickstarted the game or did some other funding for the game, and therefore there's a lot of cool ideas in that. Yeah, and that's not all this game has in store. I guess as soon as this video is 6 months old, there have been new things implemented into this game, or existing things have been expanded. This game is ever growing, and that's what's making it so awesome. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Drop me your comments down below if you think I've missed out something, or if you have a question, just ask away. Also consider leaving a thumbs up on that video, and subscribe if you enjoyed. I do daily content. All you need to do is hit that notification bell, and you'll stay informed. Also, I'd be super happy if you'd check out the other links in the description box. There's my Twitch channel, where I regularly stream, and there's also my Discord channel, and last but not least, links for direct support of this channel. I'd be deeply delighted if you check them out, but don't you worry if you don't. I'm super happy that you're watching this video to this very point. It means more to me than you might think. See you soon, and have a good time.